436, an ECG decision delivered by Plaskett J. Albeit it deals with the civil matter, the guidelines in the cited case was of great assistance to this court in coming to a conclusion in the matter or the application before court. I also refer to State versus Baleka and others, 1986, 4 SA, page 1005, Transvaal decision, deals with the admissibility of audio recordings. It was found that with regards to audio recordings, the documentary test evidence rule should not be extended to recordings, as the latter is indeed not documentary evidence but indeed real evidence. I further quote from the judge or the learned judge, in my view, apart from identification, which may be a way of proving relevance, the rest of the rule should not be prerequisites for admissibility. It follows from what I have said above that I deal with tape recordings as I would deal with any other type of real evidence standard where its admissibility is disputed. The test is whether it's relevant and if it has probative value. Continues to say, and I quote, where the identity of a speaker is an issue, as an example, the proof of relevance need only be prima facie proof. Consequently, I quote directly, no trial within a trial should be held on the question of admissibility, as the defense will, apart from contesting this evidence by cross-examination, not be entitled to lead any evidence on this issue at this stage. The defense can canvass the matter fully when it presents its case. The above approach does not mean that sight is lost of the dangers inherent in tape recordings. All these dangers have to be duly weighed when the question is considered at the end of the case whether the state has then proved that the recordings are reliable. That decision will be reached on all the evidence available, which will include that of the accused should they elect to testify. Various articles express the view that according to the traditional views, graphics, audio, video recordings are regarded as real evidence. Real evidence therefore differs from documentary evidence in that it is never excluded, it only has to be relevant. Once it is received, its authenticity, accuracy, and interpretation may be disputed. I also quote from Zephyret Pazed and St. S.T.Q. Skien, page 706. They further state correctly that real evidence is seldom of much assistance unless it is supplemented by the testimony of a witness to connect it to the issue. The weight the court will attach to such evidence will be dealt with when giving judgment and evaluation of the totality of the evidence is done. I also refer to State v. Fury, 1994, 2 SACR 829, Appellate Division. It laid down the guidelines and rules applicable clearly insofar as the admissibility of real evidence is concerned. Further endorsed in State v. Nglongwa, 2010, 2 SACR 419, an SCA decision, found that video cameras capturing events, for an example in that matter via security video cameras and from which footage was downloaded, the video footage unquestionably original and it constitutes real evidence. In the same judgment, the learned judge refers to the judgment handed down in State v. Mpumlo and others, 1986 3 SA 485, where it was stated that a video film like a tape recording is indeed real evidence, as distinct from documentary evidence, provided that it is relevant. It continued to say on page 485 and 490, H to I, that those recordings are not documents as defined under the common law by the courts, but real evidence. It further held that a video is not a document and it is not a photograph. This statement was reiterated in the Baleka judgment, which citation I have already placed on record. The appellate division indicated obiter dictum in Nivote 1990 for SA 217 appellate division at 231D that it favors the approach in the Baleka case and subsequent cases, as already mentioned in the Fury case citation on record, followed the position taken by the Baleka case as well. It is abundantly clear from the specific remarks made by the appellate division in the context of the judgment that it is considered that this kind of testimony to be seen as real evidence. In this regard, see page 834 D to E. In conclusion, this court has not only considered the common law, case law and statutory rules, including the law of evidence, has been considered. The court has further considered section 13 to 15.3, section 17 of the Electronic Communications and Transactions Act 25 of 2022, as well as section 3, specifically subsection 4 of the Law of Evidence Amendment Act 45 of 1988. Having said all the above and having regard for the relevant case law, especially the judgment delivered by the Eastern Cape Division, which the court has already placed on record and to which this court is bound by, and keeping in mind that reasons etc. will be dealt with at the appropriate time, the court rules as follows. The evidence is admissible as real evidence and that no trial within a trial should be embarked on with regards to the question of admissibility, and as it is clearly not the correct procedure to follow, and therefore the court orders the main trial to continue.
Is the court in this court?
Thank you.
The state then called the witness was Ciso Novo, this witness number A60 in the case docket A60.
Advocate Caesar, just one aspect that I need to canvass with yourself, defense, and all, even the accused gallery and court staff. I know load shedding has taken up the entire morning until 12:30, but they have still been busy with their functions, although the power was off. It is 1 o'clock. Therefore, I have to consult all parties whether they have any responsibilities or appointments for the lunch break and whether they are able to proceed. And therefore, I'm going to ask the input of everyone, as it must be unanimous.
I have consulted the rest of the court staff yesterday, and so far that is concerned, I requested them to utilize the load shedding time.
No, Advocate Caesar, you can't request and tell them to utilize. No.
It was a friendly request.
I understand. I'm putting
it.
it.
Then some incentive as well. We will be able to proceed.
I will still verify with all role players. Thank you. Warrant Officers Pochter, Sergeant Pinar, the view of SABC. Did someone take a photo now? Not? Okay. The view from SABC, are you willing to work through the lunch hour? Do you need a few minutes?
I didn't ask them, I'm so sorry. It was fine.
Not a problem, it's just procedure. I must acknowledge everyone. Thank you. Yes, Makina. Ms. Thomas? notice your position and your client's
We came to
position?
proceed through the matter with instructions to try and make it move as quickly as possible. So if we could proceed, we'd appreciate it.
Advocate Matthews? Okay. The person not present in court now is the interpreter.
We can continue to interpret it.
So there is a shortage of interpreters. I have requested informers of Ms. Thomas that we will call her, but this proceedings is not necessary as the accused is trying to proceed in English.
Okay. My last issue is how do you feel about the extreme heat in this court and a possible change of venues?
And once I've been ready to proceed here, we should put a fan under the table or something.
Okay. Then, by all means, let us proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just in respect of this particular witness, only audio, no video.
Then, the media, you have heard the request from the state that the witness, only audio evidence will be allowed, but not footage of the witness. Understood? The witness, may you please state your full names and surname for the record, please?
So, Professor No.
I'm sorry, it's making a bit of a noise. Can you just raise your voice, please?
Oh, my name is Sibusiso Professor Ngobo.
Do you have any objection in taking the prescribed oath?
No.
Do you then swear that the evidence you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I swear.
You'll have to raise your hand and say, so help you God.
So help me God.
Thank you. Mr. Ngobo, since you will be testifying in English, is that correct?
Correct?
You are comfortable?
Yes, I'm comfortable.
All right. I just want to also request you, after a sentence or so, just briefly pause. We are also writing down what you are saying whilst the state is leading your evidence. All right. Thank you. Advocate Caesar.
Thank you, Worship. Mr. Ngoba, how old are you?
I'm 32.
On the 28th of July, 2018, you were employed in a gear house company, a company that's situated in Durban. Is that correct?
Yes, correct?
Just sorry, Advocate Caesar, can you repeat the name of the company?
Gear house. Gear house.
G-E-A-R.
Yeah, gear for motor
Yes.
vehicle.
Thank you.
In what capacity were you employed at Gear House?
I was an audio visual AV technician. AV stands for audio visual technician.
What type of company is Gear House company?
Care House deals with live event. So we provide like stage, sound, and audio visual. So like a technical support for events.
there any specific qualifications?
Yes, I'm a qualified AV technician.
What is your experience in this regard? How long have you been doing that?
I've been in the industry for 7 years. I've been an AV technician for 4 years now.
On the 28th of July 2018, you were contracted to come and work here in East London and record video footage. Is that correct?
I was employed to come and do everything pertaining AV, meaning from setting of the equipment, operating, including recording of the content that was taken that day.
Just a minute. Setting up of the equipment, including?
Operating the equipment and recording.
Can you tell us what equipment are you referring to? You said you were operating the equipment. What is the equipment? What are you referring to?
During this event, we had 2 cameras. One camera was on stage right, which means when you are at the stage facing the crowd, is on your left. It's stage right according to us. And then another camera was at the front of house. Front of house, it's the tower that is built opposite the stage, like 35 meters away from the stage. It's called front of house. That's where all the engineers who are operating the show are sitting, so that they can be able to have a clear picture of what's happening on the stage. So one of the camera was there at the front of house. And then I also set up, there's a vision mixer, which is used to mix camera. It's called HS400 that I was using on that day.
Will be heavily relying on you with this technical evidence regarding cameras? You said you were also the visual mixer. What does that mean?
Yeah, vision mixer, it's when I take the feed from the cameras, it's used to mix cameras. So those 2 cameras are installed in my vision mixer, and I'm able to see them in my monitor screen, and I'm able to switch in between using the vision mixer. That's what the vision mixer is for, is to mix cameras. And then I had an ATEM studio that was used to record that feed from the vision mixer. Which means whatever that I'm mixing on the vision mixer will go to the ATEM studio that I'm using to record, and it's being recorded using that ATEM studio. And I was also responsible to give the feed to the big screens that were on the venue, so that the crowd be able to see that content.
what time did you set this up at the Sisabukashi scene?
We started the setup 8 o'clock in the morning. And then my task was to make sure that I get the correct feed from the cameras. I will communicate with my camera operator using comms. Like, for example, I will tell them that camera 1, you stand by, I'm coming to you, and then I go live to camera 1, and then just like that, so that there is a great working relationship between me and the camera operators.
Personally involved with setting up the cameras, as you explained?
Yes, I set up all the equipment that was there on site with the help of the other technicians who were cameras.
Can you just tell us why would you tell camera 1, I'm coming to you, camera 2, as you just explained, what is the purpose of that?
Because sometimes it happens that a camera can move while I'm putting him live on stream. So I'm making him ready to lock on that shot so that he won't be able to move once he's live. He will understand that he is live.
Are you able to observe everything that is going on or that is being recorded by the camera?
I can only observe what is on the screen most of the time. I don't have a vision of the stage because the stage is like 35 meters away from me. So my focus is on the monitor that is in front of me where there are cameras.
You were there the whole day recording this event, is that correct?
Yes, on the day of the event.
Yes.
Yes, I was there.
At 8 o'clock that evening, were you still there?
Can you repeat
8
that?
o'clock the evening, were you there
When, during the setup or during the show?
during the show?
Yes, during the show I was still there.
Is what happened then? What happened on that day? 28th of July.
The event started at 9, so there were speeches. Then around 3 o'clock, I cannot be precise with time. Then there were performances until maybe 11 or 10 in the afternoon.
Did you see accused number 1 there on the day of in question? Accused
Yeah.
number 1 is Mr. Malema, was he there?
Yeah, he was there. He was the main guest speaker.
Everything that happened there, was it recorded?
Yes, it was recorded.
Accused number 2, do you know him?
No, I don't know him.
Have you seen him on the day in question of 28 July 2018?
Yes,
During the event?
Yes, I saw him.
Where exactly did you see him?
Yeah, I cannot be precise because as we are busy working, we'll meet various people, so I cannot say where I saw him.
The particular evening, what happened in the evening?
It was, as I said, it was performances, a lot of dance, people were dancing around. Yeah, it's all I can recall for that day, afternoon.
Did you see or observe on your monitor any shooting incident occurred on that particular evening of the 28th of July 2018?
On the 28th, no, I didn't realize any kind of shooting that happened.
Did you observe or hear any display of fireworks on the evening in question?
What's happened is when you mix, we have combs like covering both of your ears, and there is sound that is like banging from the front too. So it was really, I'm focusing on the camera and communicating with them.
What time did the event end on the 28th of July 2018?
I'm really not sure.
If you have to estimate,
Maybe around 10 or 11
is that now in the evening?
in the evening, because I was also tasked to go to do the after party. So for me, it was, the work was continuous.
What happens once it's recorded now, whatever you need to record, what happens to that particular footage?
So the process is, once I finish with the recording, I will double check if the recording is there in my laptop and the hard drive which I was recording on. And then I will browse through the recording to check if there is audio and there are no glitches. And then I will submit the hard drive with the content of the recording to the project manager of that event from Kia House.
So you submit the hard drive to the project manager?
Yeah, I'll give the content to the project manager from Kia House who's on site.
Did you do so on this particular evening of 28 July 2018?
Yes, I did exactly as the procedure.
How did you become involved as a witness in this case?
Couple of days later, officials from, I'm not sure, NPA or Hawks, they came to at Kia House, Durban office. And I was also asked to go and join them because they requested a meeting with those who were working in this particular event we are talking about. And that was the beginning of me being part of the witness of this case.
What was the purpose of those members of the Walks visiting you? Did they explain?
They wanted to make sure that I was the person who was doing the recording, number one. And they asked questions about the video, if it's original or what was the process in taking it. That was the meeting about.
Were you requested by the Walks to go and fetch that particular footage?
No.
Who is the manager you gave the hard drive to?
I gave them, it was, the project manager was, I forgot his name, but he was from Kia House, Johannesburg, goes by the name of Lifa. I don't know the name or the surname, but it was Lifa. He was from Kia House, Johannesburg. Lifa, yes, goes by the name of Lifa.
While the footage was in your possession, has there been any tampering with that particular footage?
No.
Mr. Nobo, I'm going to show you a particular video. This is Are you able to see the television from where you are?
Oh, I didn't notice.
Excel system.
Don't think this
It's,
is going to work because if we turn it more,
Yes.
I won't be able to see.
Okay.
I don't
I will
what.
ask you to go back if you need to answer.
Alright, then please before you comment you'll have to move back to the microphone. No,
Not now.
you may stay present and the state will indicate when you need to go back to your position to answer on record. And just remember the visuals, please. Okay, thank you. Right.
Chio makerena na timoto yenoma auye mam awaye na tifoto miloma bubo pasopa kutima na timoto yenoma auye mam awaye yo ni futu miloma pasopa kutima mama tutu zelama ayama hawaii's no ni foot tumliloma pasopa kutima chio mama chio makerena.
There's also a second video that I'm also going to show you.
Mama yeah, mama yeah, mama yeah,
Do you recognize that video? Those videos?
Yes, those were two cameras from as I was mixing that day.
It was from two cameras.
Yeah, those were two camera angles that I was mixing that day.
Is this the first time you observed those two videos, or did you have or seen it before?
The first one I've seen it before through the hawks that came, but the second one is my first time.
Can you explain to us under what circumstances did you see that first video when the walks arrived? What was the primary?
According to them, they were using our video or the recording as evidence. and they were asking me if I did observe whatever that happened in the first video. That's how I came to know about that first video.
Do you confirm that is indeed the footage as provided by Gearhouse to the Hawks?
Can you repeat the question?
That footage, is that the same footage that was provided to the Hawks, the one that was recorded by your company, Gearhouse?
Yes, it was part of the recording.
Were you at any stage informed either by the police or your colleagues regarding a shooting that occurred and the police might come and visit you?
No, I only knew when I was calling the meeting.
Mr. Malema, I will request you again to get out of the witness box to observe the third footage.
Sorry?
I want you to observe the third footage. That particular footage was recorded by your company.
No, didn't have a camera coming from behind.
Did you listen to the question?
Yeah, I said no. It was not recorded from our. We didn't have a camera coming from behind.
What is the difference between the three different footages I've just showed you?
I won't comment on the last one because I don't even know where it's coming from. But on the two, the first two, 1 and 2, it's from the cameras that I set up from stage right and from the front, so I know them personally.
The stage and the scene, is that exactly how it was as is depicted on your two recordings?
Can you repeat
The
that?
stage setup, is it correct the way it's been depicted in your video footage?
Yes, correct.
Just need to speak louder.
Yes, yes, correct.
Thank you.
you. Will you be proceeding with cross-examination now? I just want to explain the purpose to the witness. It just facilitates proceedings and aids in the witness. The next step of proceedings is called cross-examination. It means, therefore, firstly, Advocate Odes, who is appearing for Mr. Malema, and thereafter, Advocate Matthews, appearing for Mr. Snyman, will have the opportunity to cross-examine you. It means they may ask questions from you which you may have already testified about in your evidence in chief, but if you are asked again, you are please required to answer the questions clearly again. They may also place a statement before you. It's normally my instructions are, or I put it to you, I'll give you a very simple example. They may say, today is indeed Friday. That is a statement. To a statement, you may respond by saying, yes, you agree to such a statement. You may disagree to the statement. If you do not know or it's not within your knowledge, feel free to say so. If you are not clear and you wish that a question be repeated for you, feel free to ask, and I'm sure the defense will assist you in that regard. Thank you. If you're ready, Advocate Odes, cross-examination.
Thank you. So, can you tell the court who the respective cameramen were on the night in question?
The camera on the stage right was Sanel Nzovu, and the camera at the front of house was Ndumiso.
Ndumiso who?
I don't know his surname.
And where are these?
Loiso. Loiso.
Ndumiso, the second camera.
Thank you.
And where are these respective people?
They are no longer at Kia House. I don't know where they are now.
So basically you admit to this court that you did not operate those cameras. Those respective people, I have them as Sandele and Ndomiso.
Sanele.
Sanele, I beg your pardon. Sanele and Ndomiso were the two people who operated the cameras. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, similarly, once they had control of the cameras, that was to the exclusion of you. You did not have control of the cameras. Do you agree with me?
Can you repeat the question?
They controlled the cameras, not you.
No, yes, they did. I didn't
Say
control.
no, yes.
No, I didn't control the camera.
And you, from what I understand your testimony to be, did not personally watch what was happening on the stage. Is that correct?
Most of the time.
You were somewhere else watching on a monitor. Is that correct?
Most of the time.
And you were approached and asked to make a statement. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you made it clear in your statement that you were not the cameraman responsible for the filming of these incidents. Is that correct?
Correct.
You also, of your own accord, stated that at the night in question you hadn't seen any form of shooting. Is that correct?
Correct.
And once you were shown the video footage at a subsequent stage, of your own accord, you said you were not certain whether it was a real or a toy firearm. Do you confirm that?
Yes, correct.
And you went further, sir, and you said that having only watched this on a monitoring screen, you were incapable of deciding or determining whether it was in fact a a toy or a real firearm, is that correct?
Correct.
Now, I want to put it to you, sir, that my instructions are that the firearms that you saw there were screen or TV firearms that are incapable of firing projectiles. Do you have any comment?
Can you repeat that?
Yes. I will repeat it and I'll speak slowly. I want to put it to you that my instructions are that the firearms that you see there were what are referred to as TV or screen or toy firearms that were incapable of ejecting any item. They could not fire a bullet. Do you have any comments?
No comment, no.
Now, if I were to show you these items that you utilized or similar items, which refer to them in legal terms as facsimiles, copies, or the actual items that you utilized that night, would you be able to identify them from what you saw that night?
I don't know. Can't.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry, can you repeat? Which items are we talking about?
If I brought to court those screen or TV firearms that cannot eject a missile, nothing comes out of them, would you be able to identify them or not?
No, I won't be.
Why?
Because I was not focusing on them. I don't even know how they look like. Even the color or anything. Up until today, I don't know.
But you know, they say a video or a photo tells a story of 1,000 words. What you've seen is, even through the antics, nobody ran or was afraid that they might be shot from what you've seen. Do you agree?
No comment?
No, you can't with respect, sir. You saw the people's reaction. You've watched the video, the courts watched the reaction. I put it to you that nobody ran away from these firearms or expressed any fear whatsoever. Do you have any comments?
If I can explain on that, I was just flighting the image, the content on screen. So I was not even looking at the reaction of the people, because even when the Fox came to show me the video, I was not even looking at the reaction of the people. So that's why I say I cannot comment. I have to go back to the video and look at it again, because my interest was not on that when I was looking at the video.
You've watched it in court, you've watched it before. I put it to you, in other words, I challenge you, as the rest of explain to you, that nobody runs away at the time of the so-called firing of these items. Do you have any comment?
I didn't see anyone running.
It's obvious, we all watched it. But now, what I want to ask you, sir, in going back to the video footage, is there's no Gear House logo on the footage. Do you agree with me?
Correct.
And we seem to be watching what appears to be as an extract of the events of that night. Do you agree with that?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
We don't see the evening beginning with as you. I
2-second delay.
No problem. Speak slowly, I'll go very slowly. The point that I was making, and I will make it through you, as follows. You explained to this court that the events of the day began from 9 a.m. We do not see that on the video footage. Do you agree with me?
Yes, in the video it's not there.
You further explained in your testimony that there were speeches. Accused number one is the main spokesperson. We don't see any of that on the video footage. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, correct.
So it's quite clear, sir, that somebody created some type of a snippet or cut out a section of the video footage. Would you agree with me?
Correct.
To complicate issues further, on the video footage, there is no indication of what the actual time was when these events occurred. Do you agree with me?
Correct.
At best, on this snippet of video, we have the duration of the actual snippet, nothing more. Do you agree?
Correct.
And there's no indication anywhere of who produced this video footage. Do you agree with me?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, there's no indication anywhere of who produced the video footage. Do you agree with me?
Correct.
Your only means by which you identify it as having been involved is from the angles of the cameras being, as you explained, and I'll give you your terminology. Stage right and front of house, is that correct?
Correct.
How many cameras were set up for this event by your company, Gearhouse?
Only 2.
You have no idea who filmed the footage that was shown to you as a third video, is that correct?
Correct.
You cannot in any way claim ownership or any role played in third video simply because, as you said, you did not have a camera from that angle. Do you agree?
Correct.
Put somewhat differently, sir, it's apparent from your testimony that even on the night in question you were unaware that any firing of any type of toy gun or real gun had taken place that night. Do you agree?
Correct.
And that was so even though you on your own version monitored the screens of the footage being videoed by the 2 cameras belonging to Gearhouse. Do you agree with me?
Correct.
It's not as if you were watching the filming of something and you saw a terrorist attack or somebody being shot or shot at, that you would react and panic. Do you agree with me?
Correct.
You went there, you controlled the monitors, and at the end of the night you were satisfied that nothing untoward, improper or irregular happened. Do you agree?
Correct.
For all intents and purposes it was a perfect celebration, a birthday bash, and everything had run very smoothly. Do you agree?
Correct.
It was only days later when members of the Hawks, you say MPA, came to see you and inquired about the footage that you came to the realization that either, as you put it, a real or a toy firearm had been depicted in the video footage. Do you agree with me?
Correct.
And that summary that I put you now would apply to both of the videos that you identified as having been filmed by Gearhouse. Do you agree with me?
Correct.
It's not that you had seen the one but not the other. It was in relation to both items of footage that you had not known of anything untoward. Do you agree?
Correct.
And as I put to you earlier, and I know that I'm repeating myself, but it flows from the sequence of the questioning now, nobody appears startled or scared in any of the video footage that was captured by Gearhouse. Do you agree?
Sorry?
As I put you earlier, and I'm repeating now because of the sequence of where we are now, nobody appears startled or scared in the video footage that was captured by Gearhouse. And do you agree with me?
Yeah, he noticed and correct.
So it would appear, and that's why you drew the conclusion that there was not a real firearm being shot on the stage with all the people there. Do you agree?
Can you repeat that?
It would appear, and as you yourself have put it in your statement, that a real firearm was not shot on the stage with all those people present. Do you agree with me?
I don't get.
If somebody was on the stage shooting live rounds, there would be a risk. Do you agree with me?
Yeah,
Right.
correct.
From what you saw and what we see on the video, nobody appears to be startled. You've told us. Do you agree?
Correct.
So the indication is that a toy firearm, not a real firearm, was used. Do you agree?
Really, Mr. This is just following the question after question. You cannot give up. I see most people stop writing. Please can you just
I don't have an issue with it. Reasonable request. No problem.
If it's easy, if it's too fast, just draw my attention and we'll indicate without having to stop proceedings and to save time. Just indicate and then I'll indicate to Advocate Odis as you are not in his view.
Thank you.
I will draw a conclusion for you and let you comment. It is therefore apparent from the reaction, from what we see on the video, that it is most probable that a toy firearm was used in both instances. Do you agree with me?
I think in this question, this is I cannot answer well, just because, as I've explained before, I've never watched the video with the interest of seeing the reaction of the people. I was only watching according to what I was asked to watch on the particular time. So if ever I have to go and look at the video again and see the expression, I would have answered like you are saying.
No problem. Let's watch it, sir. Then you can watch it here with all of us present. Please come out of the box. Tell me if you see people being startled and scared. Let's watch it out of fairness to you. Please come out and ask whoever's operating the video to
Would that now be the third video which he has no knowledge
second,
of?
and third.
All three.
Only the first two and it's three. Those are the ones that do my
No,
question code.
it's absolutely
The first two, you thank you. You come here, please. That's the first one for the record, and the second one from Gearhouse, please.
thank you.
Can somebody just move the calendar out of the way?
Yes, with someone.
KGB,
microphone, please. So, we've now had the opportunity to watch the two Gearhouse videos, and in particular, the second one focused on the people on the stage. I want to put it to you that it's obvious that nobody was afraid, startled, or running away. Do you have any comment?
That's correct.
And that's now having been given the opportunity in open court to see it and watch the people, even on the stage. You agree with me, is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, sir. May I approach the accused to take an instruction, please?
Certainly.
Thank you, sir. Excuse my doctor. Only one issue, 1 second. So, now I never asked you in advance, but now you've watched the videos a few times. Can you identify accused number 1 in the respective videos?
And the first, no.
And the second?
No.
You need to speak up if you
No.
recorded them. Thank you. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Advocate Matthews.
Thank you. Could I
cross-examination.
just approach my client for a
Certainly.
second? Sorry, I just...
Sorry, can I have WhatsApp, please?
Sure.
If possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's right. You okay?
Yeah.
Did I hear correctly when you said that the second video was the first time you've seen it?
Yes, correct.
So it's taken from an angle maybe where one of your cameras were. But there's nothing to say it comes from here.
I was saying the first time, meaning when NPA or the Hawks came the first time, they were taking clips from the video or point of interest. So they showed me that video. The second one, they didn't show me the time. So,
So you've only seen it today?
yeah, correct.
Okay. You say that NPA or the Hawks were taking clips.
Can you repeat the
The,
question?
the NPA or the Hawks were taking clips.
Yeah, this is from the, this is a clip
Okay.
from the video.
It's obvious to me that on video 1 and 2, if you will agree with me, you can't see accused number 2 at all.
No.
Thank you.
Any re-examination, Advocate Caesar?
Just to make sure that you were asked earlier about once you set up the cameras and you went to do monitoring, you lost control. You said yes, but you wanted to answer and you were stopped.
Sorry?
Your answer was earlier you were asked once you set up the videos on that day in question. Do you follow? Then you lost control of the video, or you had no longer control of your video cameras. Once you set up the cameras, the question was, you've now lost control of the cameras. You're no longer in control of it.
I thought the question was saying I was one operating the camera. I said no, I was not operating the camera. Yeah.
You also asked to observe the videos whether there was anybody running and so on. Can you recall that?
Yeah. All right.
You saw, firstly, in which direction was these shots or fired? Which direction of that stage?
Which shots? The first one or second one?
First one.
Okay. On the first video, the first shot is on the stage right, the angle, and then it switched to the front camera, which is the one at the front of house.
Were there any people standing there where those shots were fired to? Any people?
Standing from?
The right side where the shots were fired, in the direction where the shots were fired. From the video. You want to see it again?
You meaning where on the stage, stage left, opposite the camera? Because the camera is on the stage left, taking the shots towards the stage right, where there are people dancing and stuff. So which, I also understand your question.
If I want to ask, I'm not sure left or right. I'm there in the direction, but in the direction the shots were fired to, where the person stood to shoot fire shots, were there people standing there?
On the stage or on the field?
On the field.
Yeah, there were people all over the stadium now.
Talk about people standing, were they standing in front of the stage or on the sides of the stage?
On front of the stage. Yeah.
Just one aspect that you testified about, and that is, which was shown to court, no objections, the third video. May you just play the third clip, please? May you also have a look, please? If I'm correct by saying the third clip, I think it's the third clip. I'll be rectified. Have you seen the start of the third clip?
Sorry?
Did you see the start of the third clip?
Yep.
Any person look familiar on the third clip?
Yes, I can see.
You can see what's it.
I can see Mr. Malema.
And anyone else?
Some other people I don't know.
Sorry?
Some of the people I don't know.
I understand some of the people you don't know. Is there anyone else safe for Mr. Malema that stands out for you in that clip? That catches your attention?
No,
Not at all.
no, not at all.
questions based on the court's questions? Advocate Caesar?
How about none?
Advocate Otis?
None, Your Worship.
Advocate Matthews?
This is not a video taken by your company.
No.
No.
You can't even say it was taken on the night in question. Correct?
I can't really tell.
Thank you.
I think that is established. I've taken note of that.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'd finalized your evidence. You are excused. Okay. Everybody, before we start the next witness, any 10-minute comfort breaks? I know I do require.
It's a very serious.
Yes, I really hope that by today they would have solved the heat problem. Can we then agree so that we don't delay as to what time we will come back, just to allow someone just to have a drink or a bathroom break, to eat something quickly? Can we agree on a time limit?
Can you make it 25 past
Then we may as well say 2:30.